Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. On this channel, I like to share curriculum reviews and different homeschooling methods and just my thoughts on the curriculum that we are using and different things that we try in our homeschool. So in today's video, I'm sharing the safety unit by The Good and the Beautiful. We completed this safety unit about a week and a half ago. So we homeschool 3 kiddos. Kindergarten, not kindergarten, actually he's pretty much ready for kindergarten, but we're still doing some pre-K stuff. So I have a pre-K, a first and second grader, and we started our school year in July, the second week in July, and this is our last week in the first quarter. So we do year-round homeschooling, but we do take breaks throughout the year, and I guess some people call it Sabbath schooling. We take like 6 to 7 weeks of school and then 1 week off, things like that. It doesn't always work perfectly that way, but we're just coming off of about a 10-day break, and so we're back at it. But I thought I'd make this video. So we are using some Good and the Beautiful things. Some things I've shelved, and I will share that in a different video, but this is one that we really enjoyed, and so I kind of want to go through it with you. There's a lot of people who have shared a look through of this, so I won't bore you with that, but I will just show you how I approached it and how we used it in our homeschool. So we purchased this through The Good and the Beautiful. It comes in a packet. It's all loose leaf. It's all put together. I had originally bound it, but then it didn't work out well for me that way, so I took all the pages out. And the system I kind of used was these 3-hole punch plastic sleeves. I put everything I need for any given lesson in here, including like straws or whatever we needed. It all fit fine in here, and it was ready to go each time we did a lesson. I also purchased this book through them. They suggested this book as one of the books to go with a lesson, and I purchased that. And then they have additional books, the lightning safety one that you put together, and then the God Gave Me a Body, which goes with this book. So that's the only thing I had to purchase. Everything else pretty much I used from the house. There was nothing I had to buy special. Everything I had, all the supplies we had around the house. So this suggests using a journal and doing a science wall, a safety wall. So what we ended up doing was I totally nixed the journal. It was too much for us, so we stopped. We didn't even really dive into that early on. I decided to do something else. We did do the safety wall, and I'll show you how I made the wall interactive for my kids. So because of the ages of my children, having something that's interactive that they could add to and go to continuously, and manipulate the papers and read through the things was very important for us for this unit study. So this page has the safety, has the supplies, and then just a note about the safety. This is important to read because this is about the body safety lesson. So this lesson is number 4, I believe, and it talks about body safety. It's not so specific to the types of body safety, but if you do get this book here, this book is very specific, and it is about abuse, specifically sexual abuse. And so I didn't realize it, but I started reading it, and I had to pause a lot and just shelf this book because it goes into depth about abuse, and I just didn't think my kids, it frightened them more than anything, let's just put it that way. And so I had to just really have a different approach to it. But I did take some of the things from here. It talks a lot about threats and a predator that will threaten you if they want you to not tell about something that they're doing to you. Bribes, talks about bribes and things. And so this was a lot. It goes through this child who is experiencing different things and how he talks to his mom about it, and people who are safe and not safe, things like that. It talks about secrets. It talks about calling 911, trusted adults, things of that nature. But it goes in depth talking about how a predator may threaten you, or say that they'll give you something like candy if you do something that you know is wrong or that you feel is not right. Things of that nature. It's heavy, heavy stuff, you guys. And so if your kids aren't ready for this, I do not recommend reading this book because it'll scare them more than anything. But anyway, so the fire safety lesson, let's just go into that. That was really fun. We did that. I adapted the race to the fire. You can adapt it. My city puts on a lot of safety days where kids get to go inside the fire trucks, and they get to experience like different scenarios with fires and stop, drop, and roll situations and things like that. They go into the ambulances also, and they get to press the buttons, and they go over what it's like when you're in an ambulance and things like that. The YMCA also does it, so I didn't feel like we needed to add extra, but that's there if you want to go into a firehouse and experience a fire truck, things like that. Okay, so for this lesson, lesson 2, the scavenger hunt was really fun. This was like about thunder and lightning and things of that nature. We did that. We liked it. I wanted to put this here. This is Signing Time with Alex and Leah. We love Signing Time with Alex and Leah, and it's free. You can YouTube it. Is that right? YouTube it. Anyway, go on YouTube and just type in Signing Time with Alex and Leah. And if you type in Thunder and Lightning song, that song comes up, and it's such a nice song. It's really great, and the kids love it, and it talks about what thunder and lightning is and how it happens. This was a great unit as well. So I have just some notes here that I'd like to share. So when we talked about the natural disasters, we watched the Dr. Binocs. If you're familiar with Dr. Binocs, you can go on kids' YouTube and just check it out, see if it's something you'd be interested in sharing with your kids. But that show kind of shares a lot about different things, like tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes. So naturally kids are inquisitive about those things. And he had about a 3-minute video on earthquakes. And while we were there, we also watched about tsunamis and hurricanes and tornadoes. And they're only about 3 minutes long. And I'm not sure if they had ads. I don't think they had ads, so you might be okay. Okay, so here's the safety unit. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This is the body unit that I was talking about. So it talks about what a bribe is, what a lie is, what a threat is. All important stuff. Don't get me wrong. You just have to gauge whether it'll do more harm than good. That's all. So this was like not appropriate. If a car's following you, run to the near, like if a car's following you, the kids are never by themselves. So that's something as a parent that I would take charge of and not put kind of that burden of responsibility on my kids at this age. Not that it's not important and you shouldn't address these things. Just like I said, it depends on your children, and you really want to make sure that you're not burdening them with this type of anxiety so early on when they're not ready for it. Again, lesson 5, Home Alone. We did this lesson, but adapted it because they don't stay home alone. They're too young. The 911 was good. Kitchen, this was one of the more fun ones we did. I like the snack ideas that they had. And then internet and peer pressure, somewhat. This was, targeted towards my children, but really I had to adapt it quite a bit, which is fine. It's easy to do. Blowing peer pressure away. It's kind of like more peer pressure in generally speaking, not just kids their own age, but people, grown-ups, whatever, as well. So that was that. So I want to show you our safety interactive wall that we did. And it went really well with this safety unit. All right. So I don't know why this is wet here. So this is our safety wall. Let's see if I can kind of show you a little bit better. All right. So in the lessons, you have all these interactive things that you do, right? For role playing, there's safety rules, and there's games and things. And so instead of keeping a journal, we decided to do a safety wall that we could interact with. So basically this is just a poster board, your regular poster board that you would get at the dollar store or wherever. And we just put these hook and loop fasteners on the back, and then I have a specific spot on the wall that I hang this. And so when this comes down, when we're ready to do our next unit on whatever it may be, I believe we're going to do the human body next, then that new board will go there and we'll proceed again to fill it up. So the reason I like doing it this way is because the kids actively participate in putting things up on this board, and then we can go back and we can review the things we've already learned. For example, about fire safety in matches, they can see, and we can go over what's safe and what's not safe. This came at a wonderful time when we were doing lots of swimming. So this rule number 2 is about water safety. So we go over that. And then there's just a little flip book idea. This all comes with the program, these little cutouts. You just cut them out and do this. There's like a little clue scavenger hunt. So there's some clues here we did. And you know, the peer pressure one. This was about cooking and safety. Here is something that you would put all your information on. So it's just a emergency card, and we put our information on that. And here's just a book that we could go back and read about rules for staying home alone. And there is the lesson 4 rule: if someone wants to touch or see your private areas, of course say no. And that's just something they can go over. There's some scenarios here, role playing, more, you know, adaptable to their age when we talk about it. And then they just cut and paste stuff and put it on here, so it makes it their own. And I don't have individual workbooks that I have to deal with, and I don't have to worry about who's pasting what. Did they put their stuff in their book? Or, you know, maybe my little guy's book is incomplete and my other daughter needs help writing something down. I like that it's all here. We can go together to the wall and review everything. They can paste things. Everyone takes turns, and it's just all there neatly tucked away. Nothing fancy. You just make it your own, and the kids really like it. So that was it. That was our safety unit review. Again, I really liked it. There's just one lesson that I thought was a little bit difficult for me to adapt, but you know, it is what it is. It was fine. It was informative. You know, you take what you want from these types of things and you adapt it to your family and your kids' needs. Overall, I really liked it. I think they did a good job putting this unit together, and I hope you found this video useful. If you have enjoyed my videos in the past and you like this one, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you again real soon.